You may think there is not much going on in December when it comes to foraging, but you would be wrong. Even though you might not come back with plenty of things in terms of quantity, there are still some very interesting plants, even some frost-resistant mushrooms, to pick at this time of the year. And actually, some things are even easier during winter. As you will notice, plants are quite visible. There is no tall grass or other dense vegetation to cover most of the things. Most of the plants you see will be well isolated from each other and easily spotted. Rest is only a matter of knowledge and proper identification. At first, there seems nothing much but leaf litter to be here, but under these hornbeam and oak leaves a treasure is hidden. This is a hedgehog mushroom, named like this because of its spikes on the bottom part of the cap. This is not the only mushroom with these kinds of spikes, sometimes also called teeth, but it is easy to make sure you got the edible Hydnum genus species. Cap is bright, sometimes almost white, with hints of yellow or brown, some species being more yellow or more brown. The biggest one usually does not grow much more than the palm of the hand. They grow from the ground, not from the trees or dead trees, which is important to remember since some other ones that we don't want to eat do. Their lookalikes are most often found on the trees, sometimes are much bigger in size and much darker. Some of lookalikes include scaly hedgehog, with much different scaly cap, not even being a dangerous lookalike because this one is edible too. However, it is a bit bitter and some people might not handle it well. There is also toothed jelly fungus, much different visually and in texture, also an edible one, and black tooth, much darker in color and also different visually. That one is inedible. Low potential of dangerous mistakes and relatively easy identification is why I put this mushroom on the list, but it is also one of the most tasty and underrated mushrooms you could eat. You can check the description for a link to a video with more detailed talk about preparation and consumption of it. There are several different varieties of hedgehog mushroom, all of them quite looking alike and all of them edible. Some tiny distinctions like white hedgehog versus common hedgehog are not that easy to be seen without a detailed look, but this is not something that you should worry about too much as a beginner forager, as all of these are tasty and edible. It is decently resistant to frost, found in autumn and mostly early winter in both deciduous and coniferous forests of Europe, North America, and parts of Asia. December is not usually advertised as the month for foraging hedgehog mushroom, as its usual season in the northern hemisphere is from September until October. However, its resistance to frost, as long as it's not heavy and prolonged frost, makes it very much available and forageable in early winter as well. Here is a seemingly uninteresting patch of greens, but when we look closer, we will discover it is actually quite interesting. This is a salad burnet. You won't be able to identify it by the flowers since it doesn't have them this time of the year, but you can pay close attention to its tiny leaves. I want you to remember this distinct look and also check other sources per need, because when this specific shape is remembered, you won't have much chance to confuse this with anything else. Some things may be similar, but only superficially. The biggest lookalike is another burnet species, the great burnet, which should not worry you too much since that one is edible as well. It is native to Western, Central and Southern Europe, Northwest Africa, Southwest and Western Asia and Siberia, but can also be found in North America where it is less diverse because of the founder effect. Its taste is mostly described as a bit spicy, with hints of cucumber. So it is possible not everyone's taste buds will enjoy it, like many other things. It will depend on the preference. It can be eaten raw in salads, as its name suggests, but also in dressings and sauces, or used to flavor vinegar, butter, and cream cheese. Be playful, who knows, maybe you will be the one to discover some other culinary uses. This is one of the best winter herbs, and not only in winter. This is chickweed, sometimes called winterweed, which hints to its being foraged in winter. It is quite a common, low-growing plant, often considered a weed by gardeners. At this time of the year we must identify it without considering the flowers. The leaves are green, hairless, oval, and opposite with a sharpened top. The most distinguishing feature, though, is a fine line of hairs on only one side of the stem. Once you see all this, you can be sure you have chickweed. The greatest danger when picking these small, low-growing herbs is not being careful and accidentally picking something else. So always pick each plant mindfully and individually, making sure you get the correct one. Oftentimes some other, not so edible or potentially even dangerous plants can mix and grow among the chickweed. So, as a beginner forager, I would say this is, apart from proper identification, the most important thing you should pay attention to. It is widespread in Asia, Europe, North America, and other parts of the world. Most often eaten in salads, but also commonly added to stews. It contains vitamins A, B, and C, and many minerals, such as potassium, calcium, sodium, iron, copper, and zinc. It does contain saponins, so it is advised that not too much of it is eaten. There is still no official recommendation for safe amount of chickweed, but adding it to salads or stews from time to time should never be an issue. I will assume you won't pick several containers of chickweed and eat nothing but that for days. When too much is eaten, it can cause vomiting and diarrhea. Not to end today's visit to amazing winter edibles with the word diarrhea, I will invite you to take a walk yourself and try to find some of these, or perhaps some other edibles, and enjoy responsibly and mindfully what nature has to offer. All of these can also be found month prior or later. Some of them, like chickweed and salad burnets, are available for the whole year, and hedgehog mushrooms in autumn and early winter. Make sure to forage in a place and a way that is legal and safe, and happy winter foraging.